Now then, everybody, welcome to Full Time to Talk. I'm Matty. You may know me from Imagine Not Being Leeds. This is my new channel I've set up, a mixture of football chat and hopefully some really inspiring mental health stories as well through guests I bring on. I'm delighted to have a friend, Jake from Chef 41 on as my first guest. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm not too bad, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. A little bit nervous. I always get a little bit nervous when I'm discussing mental health. You never know where the chat's sort of going to go and what sort of wounds
we're
it can
just two
open.
mates having a chat like we're at a pub, going, "How's your day been?" and everything else. That's all it is. Nothing.
I said to you beforehand. No notes, mate. Totally blank. No notes. Off the cuff. Just two mates having a chin wagon. We have become friends now, mate. I mean,
yeah, we have.
One last season, didn't have for an opposition preview, and we've stayed in touch since. And we
stayed in touch. We made sure. I even sent you a message when you won the title, like, "Well done. Now piss off and leave me alone."
It's an awkward one for me, Jake, because I don't know when to text you because it's no good news to say well done about at minute at Sheffield Wednesday, is it? It's painful.
You got like 2.5 million to pay the staff. I laugh, honestly. But it just,
if you don't laugh, you'll cry.
It's not. We're talking about mental health, and it's like the whole thing you got there. Our club at the minute is a private example of a set of fans, supporters, staff, non-playing staff, playing staff who are like, "Where's my next check coming in?" Like, if you don't know where your money coming in, you panic. You panic. You got to try and figure out where your bills are being paid. So it's kind of a good situation to have as the first guest because there's stuff going on with the football club, which is mental health based. But it's also good to have someone you know.
Yeah, 100%. You make me feel at ease, mate. We spoke a couple of times now last season, and like I say, you're a top guy. Really inspirational story as well, mate. How you're one of those people in life, mate, who no matter what life throws at you, and let's be fair, Jake, as we'll get into, it's fucking thrown some bits at you, mate, as life.
Oh yeah,
and you just get on with it. And I know it's one of those. If you don't laugh, you'll cry. What else can you do other than pull your big socks up and just crack on? I understand all that, but it's very difficult. Some of the stuff you sort of go through. So let's just start with, tell us about you. Anyone who doesn't know who you are, what's your name? Who do you follow at football? Where you're from and what you do and all that.
So I am Jake, Chef 41. Back in 2012, I started covering Sheffield Wednesday on YouTube because I thought it would be good and fun. Just a top tip for you, if you do get into covering your football clubs, it will hit your mental health because people don't like you having an opinion. They really don't like you having an opinion, especially if you don't agree with them. I'm a dad of two. I suffer with a chronic illness called Functional Neurological Disorder. It's very simply put, I can have anywhere from 60 to 300 seizures a day on a bad day, 60 on a good day, and I'm saying that's a good day. Ironically, the only time I didn't have seizures when I was in Amsterdam. Think of that, what it was. I think I had 10 a day, and it was lovely. But I live my life just with the way I can. I make routine to how I can look after my kids. There's different ways how you got to do it, especially when you've got a disability that makes you randomly have blackouts or seizures whenever you don't know it's coming. So you have to try and find a way of being mentally tough. And the day where you just get up and you're like, I can't do this, but then you realize you've got to do school run, you've got to get things done. Once you get back, you can sit and relax. And it's about just finding, for me, finding my center and what I got a purpose to. And I think doing YouTube is a big purpose for me. It gives me an outlet that I wouldn't normally have because I'm an ex-chef. My original background, the name Chef 41, I was listening to Sum 41 and Blink 182 when I was making the channel. Decent. I'm a punk at heart. I normally have a bright coloured mohawk at the minute. It's normal.
I'm disappointed.
It's only normal because I'm actually going to go the same colour of whatever our away shirt if we ever bring one out this season. So, well, at the moment, I'm going to just have to do it like skin colour because that's all we're going to be able to afford to play in. But it's the whole situation. I try and make the most of what I can do because life's too short. You make the most of it.
No, 100%, man. That's a good way to live your life. Like I say, the FND stuff, didn't know much about it until, I've sort of spoke to you in past and sort of done a bit of research into it. And honestly, it just sounds horrendous, mate. I know, obviously, you can't work now, so you are a stay-at-home dad, which I know you find the silver lining in every situation. You're that kind of guy, and it means you're around for the children more, which is a positive. But still, to have that mentality, Jake, to look at the bright side of life when you're having 60 to 100, 300 seizures a day, that's credit to you, mate, because I would struggle with that so much.
I tend to have it that there's always going to be someone better, worse off than me. There's
Yeah.
always somebody who's not got something. I've got a roof over my head. I've got a wonderful wife. I've got 2 beautiful kids. Yes, it's a nightmare, and I've injured myself, and it can sometimes be quite scary. But I get to do something that most dads don't get to do. I get to school run. I get to see them every day after school. It's not like a weekend. I see them for 2 days and then I'm back at work again.
Yeah.
Well, if I don't take the positive out of something that's a big negative, it's you go depressed. You get really depressed. And I was for a long period of time up until I had my kids quite depressed because I didn't feel like I had a purpose. I had the channel, I had a dog, I had my missus. Glad I got that in the right order then. But it's that whole situation where you have to find a purpose in these things, even if it's something really, really tiny, like a YouTube channel, like crafting, like doing art, like randomly just sitting on a bench and people watching. Some of the best things I can do is just sitting on a bench and just watching people and just go, what's going on with their day? How's that person?
Yeah.
And the amount of times that I've had someone sitting next to me and I've gone, how you doing, mate? And they've gone, I'm not doing great, mate. And I've just gone, want to chat? You don't know me? Maybe it helps. And you get some people who go, nah, I'm all right, mate. And sometimes you get people who go, yeah, I do actually. Let's have a chat. Let's talk about it. I go, at the end of the day, you do you. Try and get through whatever you're going through. And you feel like that person's had a look. I've had people come up to me when I've been sat on a bench and they've gone, you okay? I've gone, not really, mate. And they've gone, what's up? And random strangers.
Yeah, that can make someone's day. That mate, it can turn someone's day from being so negative and dark to sort of seeing light. You know, I'm a massive advocate of speaking, talking to someone, but obviously not just anyone. You know, you've got to make sure you open up to the right people.
You got to make sure it's the right people. But sometimes a random stranger can sometimes be the perfect person. 100%. You're not gonna tell them like everything, but even if
just enough.
Just enough to get it off your shoulders.
100%.
Like we've all seen that friend who's come and sat down in the pub and they're like, you're gone, you're right. And they're going, nah, I like crap day at work. You're like, what's going on? Bitch about the boss, bitch about whatever. And then you just see the shoulders suddenly rise up. It all lifts off. And they're just at the end of it, they're like that going, I feel better now. Let's talk about football.
Yeah. Mate, football's a great sort of thing to take your mind away from stuff. Like, it's my outlet is football. I know your channel's your outlet. I mean, like you're saying about speaking to strangers and speaking to people. I mean, I go to, you know, every home game and I sit in a different seat and I have 2 strangers either side. And if I'm lucky enough and they're chatty enough, I end up with 2 friends by the end of it. And I love that. And football's brought us together, you know, Jake. It's brought many people together. I know you've got a really decent, thriving community, really caring. You know, they understand your condition as well and what you go through. And when I've ever come into your chat, I can see the love that your community and your chat have for you. And football does that, mate. And that's why I've been so inspired to do this.
That's the same with yours as well. When I come into yours, everyone's so nice to think. And even to the negative comment, you go, that's your opinion. That's fine. It might not be mine. Like for a while, you were quite barker in and out. You were changing your mind. But people did go, you go, like you flip-flopping, but it's like, it's my opinion. I don't care if you agree with it or not. It's my opinion.
Your opinion can change from week to week, depending on results, depending on form. You know, 1 minute you could think it's best thing since sliced bread, Jake.
I still think you keep as an idiot, but that's my opinion.
Hey, I agree with that opinion. I hope I don't see him. I hope I see him in a Wednesday shirt next year.
How much is he again? How much is he worth again? I'll let you know if we got any money down the back of the sofa.
You're probably the only club currently who could afford him, mate. That's how low is. That's how give you him for note, mate. But no, it's I'm really. For me, go on.
What I've noticed with your channel is that you do a similar thing I do, which is you check how people's mental health is in the chat.
Yeah.
And this is 2 blokes coming from mental health issues.
Yeah. So
we know what it's like when you don't have no one to talk to. So I'd rather one person in my chat just turn around and go, we do in mine, we do what's your mental health score, 1 to 10. And if you're below a certain thing, go, what's up? Anything you want to talk about? We got a bloke in our community who we got into Andy Men Club. He said, I didn't want to do it. He said, not for me. We said, just go, sit, listen. Yeah. And he went, he said it was fantastic. And he felt better. It's like, for me,
well done, mate.
Forget every other video I've done. That live stream and knowing that we got one bloke to go talk about his feelings meant the world to me because it means he got an outlet.
Well done, mate. That's class. That is absolutely class.
It's just it made me emotional now because I know somebody in my community is okay.
You're a legend, mate. Absolute legend. Like I say, on my channel, it's the chats are very warm. Yeah, it's a really lovely community. You know, I've got some of them as they start off as subscribers, they become friends. Some of them I speak outside YouTube. I've met some of them. You know,
Two of
honestly,
my subs are now two of my best mates.
It's mad. You don't expect that when you start up the channel, but it's where it leads. And I think just being a good person, having a good moral compass, caring about people, being kind, mate, just a simple thing as being kind can lead on to so many opportunities and so many friendships that you know can complete sort of. You might even have no mental health problems or worries in the world. Everything might be going great for you, but just being kind opens so many more doors. You know, branch off from that. But for someone who's struggled, this has been massive for me, Jake. It's been absolutely huge. And you know, combining football and mental health onto it's a separate sort of channel away from Leeds. I want to open up and speak to people outside the Leeds community and sort of create a similar kind of community, but with other fans. And I love that banter. I love the banter we have. You know, it's football. Banter should never go away from football. There's got to be a line that's towed.
I think the problem is there isn't a line at times, is there? People use the word. Some people use the word banter as the way of like going, I can go that depth too far.
And they just say what banter.
And the thing is, I think football fans as a whole are getting a lot better with it. And I think, especially in the women game, you're getting more and more blokes go, no, that's not okay. I've got a daughter.
Yeah.
That's not, if that was my kid, I'd be fucking fuming. If that were me, I'd be like, you don't say that about my kid. It's like, I think there's a lot of dads and granddads who are turning around to the younger generation going, roll it back a bit, think, because at the end of the day, what this is going to come across really. I don't think someone like Joey Barton's a good example for young people.
No,
because he says, and he is at that generation where he'll just say how it is, which is fine, but not on the internet. There's a time and a place, and I don't think Twitter's it.
No.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You read some of these stuff and you're just like, oh, Joey, shut up.
Yeah. He's like the Andrew Tate of the football world.
That's exactly it.
That's probably the best way of somebody.
You do realise if you go bald tomorrow, it's your fault.
Anyway, just sort of winding it back a little bit. I'd love to know, obviously, you speak about the channel and your kids as a purpose, which obviously I understand wholeheartedly. But going back to when you found out about the FND and what it was, obviously, I assume you didn't have kids at that point.
No.
How?
Go on.
How old's your eldest?
My eldest is 7.
7 and 1.5, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how did you sort of manage those early years when you didn't have that purpose? How dark did things sort of get, Jake? And you know, was your partner, any friends you had at the time, were they enough, or were you really struggling to sort of see light in those early days?
Early days, it was very much my partner mainly being the one to really like go. I can't count how many times I pushed her away and told her go be someone who's not got a disability.
Yeah.
I have physically tried to just say, go, you need someone better than me.
You've tried to finish with her, basically.
Yeah. I've tried to finish it. I've tried to end it because I want her to go have a better life. Because she was at 18, 19 when I got FND and I was 20, 21. So she was just a kid herself still. Like before, but for me, I've been in kitchen since I was like 13. I've always been in a kitchen. So from 13 to 20, I've always been in a job.
Yeah.
And then I went from always being in a job to then no job. And I couldn't do anything. My job was being in a kitchen. So it was 60 plus hours, either doing shift work or you do a shift from like, say, 4 to 1 or 2 o'clock. And that's your morning shift. Or you come in and do 1 till closing. And that was your shift. And that's what I was used to.
Brutal pace as well, isn't that job?
Yeah. I tried to do cleaning jobs. My job was my purpose at one point. And I put a lot of emphasis on that because it's all I wanted to do. All I ever wanted to do was be in kitchens. I got there, I did it. And then at 20, 21, you get told you can't have that anymore. You're stuck with going, well, now the fuck, what do I do now?
Yeah.
What am I meant to do? I'm so used to working. So for a longer time with me and my partner, her family were fantastic. My family were great with it as well. But people who were really close friends just distanced themselves from me. Because they all want to go out and go out clubbing. It's like, well, you put me in a club, I'm going to turn into a salmon on the floor doing a floppy fitting as soon as the disco lights go on. It's not the one. Like, I used to always go to gigs. I used to love going to my gigs. I can't do that anymore because of the light shows. So everything changes. And for a big period, I'd say 2014 to probably 2016, 17, there were a lot of dark days where suicide was the answer. The answer was not being here. The answer was just leaving that note and being like, I'm not going to do this anymore. This I can't do this.
So is this something you contemplated, you attempted multiple times? This
multiple times. Like my youngest, like last year, I just didn't know how to handle being a dad of two with it.
Oh, wow.
I could do a dad of one because I knew what I'd done. Yeah. But then having the 7-year gap, I hadn't done it in 7 years. I hadn't done a toddler. And to make even worse, I've never had a baby boy. So it's a completely new set of rules to me. Little girl, I know how to handle that. I managed to bring up my eldest perfectly. And I did most of that on my own as well during COVID because my missus worked for the NHS. She was frontline. Oh, so it was a lot of me being on my own with my eldest for such a long time. So it was basically doing the work of a single dad. So I just got used to being in a routine and a rhythm with her. Then you throw in a new child who hasn't got a relationship with me yet. And then I have to do a new routine and a rhythm. Like we've got one now, luckily in nursery twice a week. So I get a break.
Yeah. Which you need, mate. You need.
Yeah. Next, I think September is in 3 times a week. But one of the reasons I do the football as well, it's routine. Like I got autistic traits, but I haven't been diagnosed.
Me too.
And it's routine. I like routine, and football is ideal for me because it's on a routine. I know if there's a game on a Monday, I have to do a preview Monday, Tuesday review, Wednesday I do the debrief. So it's all routine. Like
then you're getting back into the next game straight after. It's very quick in it when the season's in there.
And then Saturday is a perfect one because then that's the day I have for myself. I don't know if you get this sometimes. Sometimes YouTube can feel like work with how much you do it, but at the same time, it's work you enjoy. Yeah. So you don't see it as work. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, for me, I haven't really got to that point yet. What I'll say is recently, I've had some streams or some videos that I haven't enjoyed because I don't enjoy the transfer sagas and I don't enjoy this. I'm very reactionary. I love the games. I love talking about football. I talk about it forever. But looking at financial stuff and PSR and this isn't me, mate. I don't read, mate. I am the best reader anyway. I don't like researching. So for me, this is my first, like, obviously off season. I only started, didn't I, in August? So it's my first season. This is all new to me, and if I'm honest, I'm struggling a little bit at the minute with the content. Hence why I thought it'd be a great opportunity to come onto somewhere else with this channel, which is my biggest passion, outside my family and Leeds is mental health awareness. So I sort of combine the two and come to this. And
I think the problem with transfer stuff is it's all hearsay, it's all speculation. So unless it's because if you say we've been linked with X player. You're going, we've been linked with X player. This is what you can do. This is what you can do. We've all seen the YouTube highlights, and then X player comes and he's not that player, or it doesn't turn out. You then go, well, that's what the news was saying. It's not my story. I'm just reacting to news. I personally like that because it's a little bit of a routine kind of thing for me. And I'll be honest with you, mate. For ages, I didn't talk transfer rumor because I was like you. Not me, can't be bothered, sod it. And then something clicked in I think it was the season we came up with Darren Moore. And I can tell you which player it was. And I told him and said, thank you for your transfer saga. I had the most fun covering Mallet Wilkes that season because it was just like, is he going to come? Is he not going to come? Is he going to? And it turns out we get someone who's really good for every other club. crap for us. It was Franny Jeffers all over again.
Yeah, it's been good everywhere else he's gone, really.
Oh, yeah. He just couldn't settle down at us.
No.
I do feel like he's playing the South Yorkshire card bingo now, though. I think he needs to now go to either... He's been to Barnsley. He's been to Rotherham. I think he needs to go to the other side.
He started at Leeds.
I know he did. He was decent at Leeds. He looked like he was going to have a little bit of a good... Mallet, if you ever get a chance, Mallet will be a really good player to have on, because I know he's had lots of mental health struggle with some of the stuff he's had to deal with, because Jesus. But I think you look at like the transfer stuff and you're just like, it's draining.
Yeah.
Like I can understand, especially with you now being Prem.
Yeah.
You're going to be linked with here, there, and everyone. You're going to have the next incarnation of Messi you're linked to, or something weird.
It's been mad. Luckily now we seem to be getting a few over the line, but this is the banter side of me now, mate. You know, you're all right with the transfer links, because all you've got to do, Jake, is look, and if they're over a tenner, you know it's not right. So
yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Well, here's a mental thing for you. Tonight, BBC Radio Sheffield did a Sheffield Wednesday special. Yeah. Who do they have as a call-in? Milan Mandaric, our old owner. He's now going, I'm going to come back and try and save you. You saved the last time with £1. What are you going to do now? Because we haven't got a bloody clue where he is. Like, he had 14 days to reply to the EFL, and we haven't heard anything. This is a man who loves a statement. I went through a season when we first came back to the Championship where every other video was a statement saying he made another statement. I think I did 8 videos on him just talking rubbish. Like, I put it our owner very much like Colino or like you had.
Yeah.
Also, about that man, scumbag, he's just bankrupted another team. What a can I swear again?
Yeah, of course.
He's a knob. Knob.
He is. It's awful, mate. Awful.
And I hate seeing you guys having a structure and the Red Bull league, because like I want something nice.
I know. It's awful, mate. Because like I said, we've been there, mate. And it's awful. And like I say, when you look back at the mental health stuff, like I mean, I joke quite a lot and say Leeds United and football's great for my mental health. And a lot of Leeds fans say, "Are you joking? I'm a long sufferer for 50 years. I do not but bad for my mental health." But in all seriousness, obviously, right now we're in a good spot, and when Leeds are winning games and playing well, it does help my mental health to go to a game, meet my best pal, enjoy it, have the win, and come away. It sets me up for a positive week.
I won't lie. I saw your rants in the car with your best mate, and some of them were legendary. I like,
mate, that video's.
I won't lie. There was time where I was watching, like, are you sure this is good for your mental health?
I love it. He just knows what to say, does Priest, because he's the ultimate positive fan, so he's great. But in that moment, I didn't want him to tell me anything good. I didn't want to hear about, we've still got Wembley to play for. I didn't want to hear none of that.
See, what was great about last season, you had all like it was a really good top 3 race all the way through. Yeah. And now you look at what like Sheffield United had just done today with sacking Wilder. And I'm like, he got 92 points.
It's
what a job.
You would imagine he would have got him up next season. Now,
he would have done, but the Sheffield Wednesday fan was like,
I can imagine you're happy with that one, mate.
I can't be. It's really weird. I can't be, because my club. How can I go to one of my best mates who's a Sheffield United fan and go, "Oh yeah, Wilder's gone"? Piss you, like, you want a fiver? I can't do it. I can't banter him because my club's in such a mess. You can't. Like, I've had Sheffield United fans go up to that. Are you all right? I'm like, oh, fuck off.
What's the actual? I know I'm stating the obvious, but what's the actual feel amongst fans in your community? Is it
right now?
Yeah. Is it painful? Is it awful? Or is it, we'll laugh so we don't cry sort of vibes? You know, is it a dark place?
It's very dark, because I think a lot of people are very worried that we're either going to go into admin or we're going to be the first case of like the EFL not being able to save us and be the big club. To not exist anymore, because we have no idea what's going on. We have no communication from the owner. The EFL have told us that we are charged. We've got a free transfer fee ban. So we can't spend any money on players. It's free players only. We can't pay agents. We can't pay loan fees. That's it. We got a manager who's fantastic. Don't get me wrong, but looks desperately like he wants to go back home to Germany to his family, which I don't blame him.
He doesn't need, mate. He's a young manager. He's a great young manager. He doesn't need to be middle of this circus, does he?
If anything, this will build him up to be a better manager. If he can survive this, nothing's gonna like
character building. It's really, you know what I mean? It really is.
But the thing I've got is it's the not knowing. It's the not knowing, and then it's like we got to meet the commission where we could either get a point deduction, or the extreme case they could have blown us from the league. And it's like, and I've said to our lass, she was like, "What do you do to the channel if that happens?" Like, I go support the next when that makes, or I go support my local non-league.
Yeah.
Like if I went to my local non-league, at least then I know my money going somewhere where it's going to be helpful.
Yeah.
Right now, my money goes in. I don't know if it's going to pay off his debt in Thailand. This debt here. Like we owe HMRC a bill in a couple of days, and it's like we've got players who were due their paycheck on the 30th of May who are still not paid.
Wow. That's absolutely brutal for a club of Wednesday size, mate. That's absolutely insanity. I mean, is it a case now of does he have the money, but he's refusing to put it in?
We don't think he got the money full stop.
No,
it's the problem. We don't know where he's been getting the money from. Like no one can find any businesses in Thailand. We all think it's been bankrolled by the family, and we're all starting to think had the family cut him off, could this was meant to be his thing. And now they've gone, now this is Yo now. And it's just like, we've had to sell one of our big up-and-coming stars, Colin Cadamartri, one of Danny Cadamartri kid, to Man City to 1.5 million. Which, if he stayed in our academy and done well, he could be worth double, triple that.
God's good.
But again, you've seen it where you have players at your club go for next to nothing out your academy. You can't keep them. Yeah. We're in the same position where we can't keep them. If they go, they go. We've got the situation. If we don't pay players, I think it's the case if we don't pay players soon and they miss another deadline on pay, player can rip up their contracts and walk away. So we wouldn't have any squad. Wow. Like we went to do preseason training on the 26th of June. We're not 100% sure if our training pictures are ready. Could we rip them all up ready for it?
Wow, mate. Obviously I know your channel's your crutch. It's something you enjoy doing, right? How are you getting through the content? Because you're very committed, 2 videos a day on average. You put out content constantly. How are you on earth like able to even do that? How are you able to even come on and put a smile on your face and attempt content when it's that volatile at the minute, buddy? I couldn't do it.
It's a little bit of routine, but I think about the people who are in different countries or different
people rely
areas.
on you, don't they? To be fair,
they
rely on you.
I've had it before where I've had people say, "I live in America. You're the only source of content," kind of thing. So there's that kind of side of it to it, but there's also that whole thing of I've done it for so long now. I've done the bad. I've done the when we were trying to get sold when Milan had us originally. I've had us with the dodgy Ukrainian, the dodgy Manadov Land of Fire. This is just another part. There are days where I'm just like, I can't be bothered, but I then go, get it done, get the story out, then it's done. Because at the end of the day, there might be somebody who doesn't want to read the local paper, the new paper. They'd rather someone just say what it is, give their opinion, then put their opinion in the chat. Yeah. Like, I'm a big advocate of not having... I like to listen to books. I don't like to read them that much anymore because of concentration. So Audible's a big thing for me. Podcasts, I like to have something on. So if I'm someone who say that's similar to me, right, Punk's going to turn around and tell me what the news is, and I'm going to say how I feel in the comments. Done.
Yeah.
Like, for me, I think about the person who like I'm the only source of their news, and then if I don't do that video on that, they're like, well, what's going on? Yeah, I had somebody messaging me earlier today saying I've not been able to look at the news for 2 days. What's going on? Sent them 1, 2, 3, 4 videos and gone, check them, come back to me.
Yeah, like I say, they're your friends as well, aren't they? And knowing that people rely on you, I suppose it gives you that. Like you say, it's all about purpose, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, to not do any content as well as struggling as a fan with what's going on at your club. I suppose you come out and you face that music and you speak about it with your friends, don't you? Which is what it is. How your community, the friends out there.
You also want to make sure that it kind of also shown I feel shit as well. I feel the same way you do.
Yeah.
But it's also sometimes giving people just a chance to vent.
Yeah, 100%.
The only reason I haven't done the call-in shows as much as I want to, because there's this weird line on YouTube, and if you cross it, it can knock your channel.
Yeah.
And so you've got to be really careful, and you don't want to have someone come in and go, I'm a Sheffield Wednesday fan, but then go, I'm a Blade. And then you cause in with that. Because things like that mess with my mental health. Things like some of the comments I'll read, you'll get 1,000 brilliant ones, and 2 or 3 negative ones will be the one where you question yourself. They'll bug you, and then you'll either reply back, or like the one I had the other day was where somebody's having a go at me for like the news and stuff. And I just did a short going, you clicked on my channel, not the other way, mate.
I watched it. I loved it.
I'm like, I'd had a really bad day. Kids were doing my head in. Council were doing my head in. I've got builders next door at a minute, so I'm constantly hearing the reversing noise. I was just in a foul mood.
I am coming for you.
I just read it. I was like, right, sorry, I'm just going to turn you into content then. I don't care. At that point, but it was just a case of like, it's like, you clicked on my video, not the other way around. I didn't send you here. I might have put it in Facebook groups, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Blue Sky, on a fan forum. I didn't tell you to watch it. That's the one thing I always get annoyed about. And I get you, I can understand you get this, where they'll go, no, my face on keyboard. How dare you have this? It's like, you clicked on the video, not me.
Yeah, seeing a lot of that in like the Leeds YouTube space at the minute on every channel, to be fair, because not a lot, but there's a minority of people that don't like the transfer rumours. But all you're doing is you're getting people on YouTube talking about the news. Unfortunately, the news are transfer rumours. If you don't like it, don't click on a video. I did a rant
Connor and Joe seem to be getting battered by it.
Because the full time they've got to do that content. It's what's out there. What else can they talk about? They can't talk about games, so they're talking about the news, which is relevant now, which is rumours, and people do get battered for it. And I don't know what you expect. They're supposed to just not feed the family for 3 months.
I think there's a lot of people who still don't get this YouTube style of doing stuff.
Yeah,
and they think fan forums or fanzines. Back in day, it's like, this is the new generation fanzine. If you don't understand that, this isn't this is a you problem, not a me problem.
100%.
And the thing is, this is how people now get their content. No one's gonna sit there and read a fanzine. No one's gonna scroll a fan forum for hours on end.
No.
There's a cut-off between where it gets to a point where you're like, do you actually want to do it this way, or do you do it that way? Look at how many Leeds United podcasts are. Look how many Sheffield Wednesday podcasts are. Look at Goldbridge. Look at AFTV. Look at all these big channels. They're all done. And the thing is, everyone's format's the same thing. Find a story by Sky Sports News, The Guardian, Telegraph, Yorkshire Post, The Star for Us, and you react to it.
Yep.
But then you'll get someone go, oh, you're just reading what it's saying in the news. It's like, yeah, because that's what it is.
Of course,
what do you think?
You're not reinventing the wheel, Jake, are you? You're just reporting what's already out there. You're just trying to make it bring everyone to one place where you haven't got to go looking for it, and then you provide it.
And,
that's it.
And I've got the whole thing where if somebody else does it, I'll watch their one and I'll have a different take.
Yeah.
Like, this is, I get so annoyed when you get the one that I always find funny where you go, you're just copying such and such. I'm sorry, but he copies someone else, and he copies someone else, and he copies someone. You know, the wheel, it goes round and round and round. It doesn't just stop.
There's only so many takes on something you can speak about as well. If you're reviewing a game where you won 4-0 and 4 goals are beautiful goals, you're probably all going to say they were bloody good goals. They were bloody good goals. Everyone's going to say the same thing. There's only so much you can talk about one topic, whether it's a game.
I won't lie. I'm looking forward to watching your stuff next year with VAR. I can't wait to watch for the rants.
Oh, you mean those reactions where you're like, yeah. Oh no, it's been chalked off. He's offside. Yeah, it's I'm not looking forward to that part. I think that's what every fan says going up to Premier League. That's the one side. It's, you know, I'm all about the reaction. I love it in ground. You've probably seen my vlogs. I go absolutely bananas when we score a goal. The thought of that jeopardy coming in where you're not too sure.
My best reaction was the Wednesday 4-4, and I went mental in here. And I lost my voice. Oh, if you find it on my channel, I think there's a short of it, or there's a cut of all the goals. And it's there's literally a clip of me like before Liam Palmer going, well, we gave it a good try and it wasn't meant to be. And then I just go, oh my God, it's Palmer, just go nuts. And I think that's the thing, it's passion like that. And I think that's what drives us all, the football fans, the butters. If you have something like that that happens on a Saturday, you know for the rest of your week, your mental health is going to be great.
100%.
But if on Saturday you just watch a clear onside goal and a red card against your team that wasn't a red, your attitude for the whole rest of the week is like, that fucking ref, what a prick. I'm gonna have him. You just have that kind of way, don't you?
I'm intrigued to see how I go next season. Obviously, concept-wise, it's going to go up a level with being Premier League. It's going to be exciting. But if it's a struggle, which it's going to be a struggle, it's not going to be as good as the last 2 seasons. We've amassed 190 points in 2 seasons. We ain't getting nowhere near that, mate. So even hopefully we stay up. I back us to stay up, but it's going to be tough. But what I'll say is, obviously, since having this channel, it's been nothing but really positive results. Obviously, since August, we've got promoted this season. I've only been going to the games religiously for the last 2.5 seasons, like every home game. But that's brought me out of my depression, you know, as well as my family, don't get me wrong, as well as other aspects of my life. But Leeds United, meeting my mate Priestley, and, you know, everything that comes with a match day experience has brought me through my dark side. But the last 2.5 seasons have been relatively good season. Last 2 anyway. Obviously, the half a season before that we got relegated, but I was just happy to be out doing stuff because I've been locked away for so long. But the last 2 years has been brilliant, and I've sort of come out my shell again. I'm a better person now.
Do you feel like you're back to the old you, but with a bit more vigor and a little bit more of an upgrade?
I say all the time the old me, but then really it's a different version of me because of where I was and what I've come through. So similar in terms of, I've always been an outgoing person, Jake. I love singing. I'll have no qualms about getting on stage and singing in front of 10,000 people. That wouldn't affect me. I'm back to that now, where I couldn't even answer my door, answer the phone, and open a letter 2.5, 3 years ago. Now I'm back to that side. But I feel like I'm a better version because I understand that I might not have been here anymore, Jake, as well. You know, I understand that there were a period of time where my kids weren't even enough. Like, my wife wasn't enough, my kids weren't enough. There were nothing that was enough for me not want to be here anymore. So I think when you go through something like that and you come through the other side, and, you know, I can look back now and go, how I was feeling at that time, it seems so alien to me now. I can't believe that were me. But it was. And I'm now, I can see it in others now as well. Like when I see people struggling, I've got that empathy for them, which I would have never known if I hadn't gone through it. I can see it in people. I ask a lot of friends now, even if it's just the odd message, how are you doing? Check in with people from time to time, because I know. So I feel like
have the thing back before it all kind of thing. Do you used to have that kind of man thing, to get over it, push on with it?
100%, mate. 100%. I mean, mine, without going into detail, what like childhood trauma I went through some at a young age, and I buried that for 30 years. I'm really good at putting stuff in a box and not touching it. Masking. Honestly, that's a word I wanted to bring up because I know you do the same. I mean, I know for a fact, going through the autism diagnosis with my little boy, I've got ADHD, I've got autistic traits. There's a lot of stuff there that I've known what tick a lot of boxes and answer a lot of questions from when I was a child growing up. Stuff I'm really good at masking, putting on a mask. My little brother he's got dyspraxia, so my mum focused on that. Have you got that? My little brother's got that. So my mum focused heavily on my little brother, and I was sort of left. I was okay. I wasn't. I just had to mask it and get on with it. So I've been good at that all my life. So when the mask slipped, it was actually scary how far it slipped. You know, how all that bottling up to the point where I'd gone from, honestly, being the life and soul to a day later being gone. I mean,
and I'm guessing you would do that whole thing where you'd be life of the party, and then the moment your door shuts, clothes comes off, you're lying in bed like, that ain't me, done.
Yeah.
And it's very much like makeup, it's very much like a mask, but it's also
100%.
You mask because you don't want people to be checking up on you. You don't want the people going, you're right.
It's the worst thing because you get more upset.
Yeah.
It's the worst thing.
And you get angry.
You do.
And the amount of times that you'll randomly have a massive blowout at a best mate because you're just like, it's off, leave me alone.
Just leave me alone.
I can't be asked.
And that's what we're like. And, you know, obviously the mental health chats that I'm going to have on here, it's not just all based towards men. It's mental health for everybody, but just right now, talking about men in general, we don't tend to open up. Since my sort of episode, I open up a lot more now. It took the most extreme sort of, fall away from bloody normal life for me. Where I ended up was just it were bonkers when I look back. But it took me to get to such a dark place for me to open up, and then from there, I now know if I'm struggling even a little bit, Jake, and I mean even a little bit, even if it's somewhat work related or something a bit more serious than that, anything, I have to get it off my chest now. And it's hard as a man to put that on your wife. But she's told me from day dot now, if you've got any issues, you speak to me. You don't like me, you don't, because I would go into therapy without telling her because I didn't want to open up to her. I would do it. So I was making the problem, which in my head was a bigger problem than what it probably was if I'd have just spoke, by lying and sort of doing things like that because I didn't want to open up. She
probably would have been quite proud of you for going to therapy.
100%.
You would have seen it as like,
we're embarrassed. I was even embarrassed to tell my wife I was doing therapy. But then because I'd done it and not told her, it become this sordid lie that I carried on doing it. And until eventually I just opened up and told her everything, laid all the cards on the table. We both cried. She embraced me. She hugged me. She didn't leave my side all night. I woke up that morning, and like you said earlier about the shoulders, I woke up that morning and felt the weight of the world had sort of left my body, and I didn't like putting on my wife, but that's why you get married. That's why you're a team. You're a team.
You don't want to put it on people.
You don't,
because you don't. I got thinking with my mental health and my chronic illness, I always sometimes have days where I feel like I'm a burden to my wife because she got to look after two kids plus me.
Yeah,
like the other day, she had to carry me up there. My legs died. My legs just died. I couldn't move. And I made a joke of going, I'll just sleep here because we got like a sofa chair downstairs. So if I don't want to go up there to bed, I'll sleep downstairs.
Yeah.
I'll sleep anyway. I'll sleep in a bush if someone let me. I've done it. But my leg died. I was like, just leave me here. So she took me up there to bed and I got ready. And I think it was like 9 o'clock. And I'm normally a late owl. I'm normally somebody who goes to bed quite late. But if I'm bad, I'll just sleep.
Yeah.
And I just remember I went to really bad. We got a massive playpen for the young'un. And I'll sit in there and play video games. I don't care. I will sit in there, play Call of Duty because it's there, it's comfy. And it's kind of like, I'm not shifting this, fuck this, I'm just going to sit here. And I look weird. She took a picture of me the other day. It's like, you look like you're the kid. Like, yeah, and?
Put a giant diaper on, just sit there.
Yeah, but I had a seizure and then I laid down on the like little sofa pillow we got in there and I was gone. I was literally gone. Yeah. And tried to get up, failed. And I was like, I'll stay here. But you always feel like you're a burden. Your mental health feels a burden. You feel like you're a burden to your kids.
Yeah.
But my little and my eldest, she will put me in the recovery position. She'll put a blanket over me. Legend. She knows what to do. It kind of why I'm kind of happy I've had it while she'd been younger because it's all she'd known. Then having to suddenly have it. I've got friends who've got FND and they suddenly got it and the parent be in that position. But my little girl from looking after it, she wants to be a paramedic and she's 7.
Wow.
And it's like, if you're already doing this now, then you go be a paramedic. Paramedic or an engineer, so could go either way at a minute.
She's doing well then. She's doing
well.
Yeah,
it's I think it's that whole thing when you open up to a partner, it's that look in their eye. You never know what you're gonna get. Yeah. You don't know if you're gonna get I feel sorry for you.
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell me anger? Or you're just going to get for fuck's sake, just come here.
Yeah.
And the moment you get that kind of, for fuck's sake, come here, I don't know about you, that's where my emotions just go.
100%.
I burst into tears.
100%. It's probably a bit easier if they're angry or whatever. I mean, as soon as they show that emotional side to you, you're just gone at that point, aren't you? It's...
Yeah. And
I don't think I've cried as much in my life as that particular night I opened up to him. I think.
And a big thing, any blokes on there going, "Oh, don't cry," safe mate, cry. It's one of the best therapy you can do.
Yeah, I'm a big crier, Jake. I'm a big crier.
Don't. So am I. There's certain Disney films that I will cry at, and I'm like,
my little lad Theo, you know, one on video, we love you, Leeds.
Yeah.
He plays for a football team. I let him buy what I buy us, and they're a great team. But you know, like those old movies you'd watch when we were younger, like Little Rascals and that, but it's like a team of misfits who never win a game, like Mighty Ducks.
Yeah.
And they've been like that for months. And then last weekend they won the first game. It's probably like the 20th game they won the first game, and every single parent were all sobbing, mate, on side. watching kids win. It would, because don't get me wrong, it's not about winning all the time. It's about having fun to start with.
And I bet the other side were looking at you going, "What the fuck?"
Mate, honestly, yeah. Like, what's going on here? Honestly, it's madness. No one sports their kids like we do. Every game, honestly, we shout and we give them encouragement. But to heads drop after every game, Jake, it's been hard. But so watch the little faces when they won a game were unbelievable.
I won't lie, it's the one thing that worries me about putting any of my kids in team sport, because I have seen some horrible.
Yeah.
And I've been on the end of a square up a couple of times and gone, they're sodding kids, just let them play.
Yeah.
Like it's why I'm kind of wanting to push them towards rugby. The rugby community is so much better.
Yeah, Matt Theo plays both, mate, rugby and football. The
moment the parents steps out of line, there's about 5 other dads and mums ready to go. No, we don't do that here.
Yeah,
that's not what we do here.
No.
It that whole thing. Like I am a little bit jealous of rugby, right? Because you can go for a rugby game and sit in the away end and just have a conversation.
Yep.
If you put a Millwall and a West Ham fan together,
mate,
someone's gonna get killed.
Can you imagine, mate? Brutal. So I'm a Leeds Rhinos fan. I went to Leeds v Cass about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Our Theo played in the game on pitch. Really, really good, to be fair. And we sat like we were the away fans, but we sat like with the home fans, and I was sat next to a Cass fan, and we had a bit of banter. But then, honestly, for the whole game, we were just talking about life while watching game, and we hammered them. And you know, it was a few swear words from him and a bit of banter, like I say, but shook hands at the end of it. Wished him the best. They were a lovely guy, and you just don't have that at football. So the community in rugby league is great. Yeah,
I really wish you did, because it would make football so much more fun.
It would. But you want that competitive edge. But to be fair, rugby still has that. It still has that competitive edge with the fans. But there's just a respect there.
There's a difference, though. There's the respect there and a bit of banter, where football fans, it's I want to knock your head off.
Yeah,
like
it is.
A couple. Let's put it really bluntly. 2012, 2013. This wouldn't have been able to happen.
No, probably not.
Let's be brutally honest.
Probably not.
Rival fans talking to each other. Wouldn't happen without somebody going in the comments or in a like going, "What you doing talking to the enemy?" Yeah. And it's like, he's not me. He's my mate.
Yeah, not exactly.
Yeah, he might wear that white stuff on him, but that's nothing to do with me.
I'll tell you what, right? It's funny you say that, because I fully agree. But it's going to be interesting to see how it transitions for me when I have a Manchester United fan on here.
Oh yeah,
that might be a step too far for some of my subscribers, mate. It might be a step too far for me.
You know how you set that one up then.
Yeah.
You know how you set this up? I'm doing a science experiment to see if the Man United fan got brains.
That's a cool little title, that, actually. I have to give that one a go. I'm going to have to find a way around it.
It's just one of those things where you make sure it's a Man United fan that got sense of humour, because some don't. I know one who...
They need one at minute, mate.
I don't know who's worth Man United or us. At least they can sign players.
I don't know how. I don't know how bloody finances they've got. But,
to be fair, I'm waiting for the next thing where they go, "Hey, here's our new kit launch, and how do we pay for it? Here's your Klarna payment plan. You play it that way." It's like what I don't get, like with football at the minute. Like there's a lot of our fans saying, "Take the money away, like take the shirts away, take the tickets away," but you're actually then damaging the people who get paid. Because that's where the money comes in. If we haven't got any money, where'd the money come from?
Yeah, of course.
It's just like, one of the things is, like, I think a lot of people put too much pressure on the jobs and how the jobs are them. Yeah. And I did that. And I bottled so much. I would put up a wall of defenses to not... My missus, she's stubborn as hell, which isn't good because I'm stubborn as hell. But we'll have it where we'll have an argument and we won't talk. We literally won't talk until one of them makes them laugh. And we'll be trying to make each other laugh. We'll laugh and then we'll forget what we had an argument about.
Yeah.
But I think one of the big things is, if you're a bloke and you're that bloke that says, I don't cry. Ask yourself why. Why don't you cry? What is it that's stopping you?
Yeah.
Because you're not a lesser than man if you're going to bawl your eyes out.
No, definitely.
You are still the same person. Emotions are enough. A lot of my seizures come from when I was a kid. I had to like bottle my emotions. I grew up too fast. So I don't deal with complex emotion quite well. If I'm happy, I can have a seizure. If I'm sad, I can have I had a seizure on my wedding night because I was just really happy that I got married and it was a great day. And I hadn't had a seizure all day. And then in the space of about, I think it was 20 minutes, I had about 50.
My God.
And I was knackered.
Do you have it then where you have one, you come out of it and instantly go into another one? And that can happen for...
Yeah.
Wow.
I can have it where people have been talking to me and I'm glazed, just completely glazed over. I don't know you're still talking to me, but I'm responding, but I'm not there.
Is it like an absence seizure?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. It's an absence. I can have...
Jonas had one before.
I can have absent seizures, random blackout, convulsion seizures. The absent ones are quite fun if I need to get out of somewhere, though, because 9 times out of 10,
this is what I mean, putting a positive spin on stuff. Honestly,
if I get to the point where I zone out at something, and my missus loves it actually because I've got her out of so much shit. We had a joke the other day saying if there was an emergency, how would you get out of the situation? He said, I'd just go get the torch and flash it in your eyes and go, oh no, Jake's falling over.
Honestly, I love you and your lass's personality, mate. It's just right on my street.
It's just
right on my street.
If you don't find some sort of funny side to it, it's not even worth.
Yeah.
It's about having a sense of humor.
Yeah.
Like I know a couple of mates who got no limbs and they will literally take their leg off in a pub, put it at the bar and watch someone lean on it and be like, oi, get off my leg. And then look around, I've got a really dark sense of humor and I've got a really, if I'm on a bad day, like recently you sent me a message going, you okay? I went, I'm fine. I'm just sick of idiots. But you could see it in the video and people have seen bits of my videos and gone, you're right. I like, or go take a day off. I don't know what a day off is.
Yeah.
I don't do it because
if you don't come in here and do this don't stop.
No.
This don't stop.
No.
That's what I'm like. People tell me you're doing a bit too much content, take a break. This don't stop though. What I'm gonna do? Lay in bed and stare at the ceiling for 4 hours. This doesn't stop.
The problem is you're like this new thing you're doing now. You will have been having the whole situation going, I want to go this, I want to plan this, I want to do that. And your missus like, just go sleep.
Yep.
But you can't because you just want to do. It's like having a hyperactive bunny in your head, which is just bouncing from side to side.
Exactly what I'm like, mate.
And
it's exhausting.
It's exhausting, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Come on. You can't admit it.
I'm quite enjoying. I've always had a creative sort of mind. I've always had a bit strange, weird, quirky sort of imagination. I've never really had anything to funnel it into. I've never really been brave enough to sort of go, this is me, let's have a go at this. And then the YouTube channel sort of done that. You know, speak about Leeds, my passion, but my personality is like everybody. Everyone's personality is different.
Yeah.
I'm different to you, I'm different to him, I'm different to her. And to have your personality sort of embraced by people has been something I didn't expect because, like I say, I'm a little bit of an oddball. I look at everybody else in the Leeds community who do this sort of stuff. And
you're all different, though.
We're all different.
I follow a lot of EFL Premier League fan channels. And I have had it sometimes where I've had some people come into my chat and go, no. It's like, and I've gone, you're a Sheffield United fan. Why are you commenting on this? I don't comment on Sheffield. I don't comment on the stuff. But I respect what they're doing because I know what it's like. Because I can't be dealing with the aggro.
Yeah.
To be brutally honest, I can't. Yeah. Your community, I can comment in, lovely, fine. Yeah. I get a couple of things back, but it's like, I give it back. It's fine. Yeah, I can do it with Connor's community, I can do it with Joe's community. Yeah. There's certain ones you can't do, and you just go, fair enough, you can't do it in them.
Yeah.
Jack Reeves, Norwich City, the Ipswich lads, brilliant.
Yeah.
Benjamin Bloom, all that lot, all fantastic content creators. And you look at what they do. I've got a couple of mates who were non-league, and I don't know if you know Around the Grounds, Lee.
I actually don't know him, but I know his dad. his dad's a site foreman, and he actually told me he's got a son who was around ground when I told him about my YouTube channel. Yeah, so I sort of know him without knowing him.
There's Lee, there's 18 Dapp, who's a Donny Rover fan.
Yeah.
And there's just so many people I met through doing this who are now just mates, who I don't see them a content, they're just mates. Like the first time, like Connor left something on mine, I was like, that's pretty cool. That's Connor. You know, when you get someone who you've watched for ages, you just see a comment, it's like, that's pretty sick.
Yeah. No,
I think it's the weird thing is you automatically think that no one can watch your stuff. Like originally, my channel was an outlet for my FND. I needed something creative because I've been creative all my life. I love photography. I can't do that now because I broke 2 very expensive lenses that I never replaced because seizures and cameras don't mix. I found out. The glasses go smash and you go cry. That's how I found it. So sitting down and having my setup weird because I've literally got a new piece of equipment that I've got to learn how to, and it's the first bit of equipment that scared me in content creation because I can't get to it. I've done the ADHD thing, watched a million videos on it on how to use it. I've got to do it straight away, and my brain's gone, oh, this is a bit too far. And I'm like, no, you're going to battle this, you're going to do it, and you're going to figure it. It's just not a today job. Not when the temperature's like 22.
No.
Because in here, it ain't fun.
I can imagine, mate. Yeah. Is that like a bit of a outhouse in garden, or is that part of your house?
It's like a summer house, which we've kind of done it into. It's 10x12, so it's a good side. I've gone from an 8x8 bedroom to outside space, fully internet, fully secure. Basically, when we found out my little one was being born, I'm like, right, I'm gonna have to stop the YouTube. I'll figure something else out or something. And our laugh was like, the fuck you're stopping YouTube? You're going outside. I was like, what? You're going outside? I don't care. You're going outside. Like, what do you mean? In the shed? No, we're gonna build something, idiot. She was adamant that I wasn't gonna stop this because she knows how much I love it.
Yeah.
I nearly quit. I nearly quit in 2019.
Oh, really?
I nearly quit in 20. I was just fed up. I felt like I wasn't getting anywhere. I was stuck on 800 subs. I wasn't really vibing it.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit.
Yeah.
And then people started getting interested again. I started doing a podcast called the Talking Wednesday podcast with my mate James. With that been going since COVID. Then I got invited on to something that was the Football Vlogger podcast. It was the brainchild of Lee Charles, who's a Blackpool partner. You know Doran Tor?
Yeah.
Mr. Doran Tor?
Yeah.
Bloody love Ben. Ben's fucking awesome. Yeah. If you get to do anything with him, do it because it's a laugh. It's a real... I'll pass your name on to him, mate.
Please do.
And I did that, and I went on their show. And the caveat was you had to have 1,000 subs, a decent mic setup, and a decent camera. I was on 800. I wasn't meant to be on there. Ben had told them about me. I jumped on, and Benjamin Bloom was on it for a bit, and Nappers. So I jumped on there, and it just snowballed from there. People started seeing me as like, oh, he's not just an idiot with stupid hair. He's actually got a good football sense. He's got a good stuff. And I managed to get on by having the decent equipment and a decent opinion.
Yeah.
Like,
just been a good guy, Jake. Just been a good guy, mate.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate
just
that.
Been a good guy, mate.
I sometimes question my kind of inner morality because it's just who I am.
Yeah.
Who I am is what comes out on the screen.
We're all as our own biggest critics, mate. We are.
Yeah.
But you're a family man. You've got some serious stuff that I don't know how you get through a day with, if I'm honest. You know, the serious disability there, 60 seizures to 300. Honestly, it baffles me how you even eat a day, but a big credit to you, man. Honestly,
thank you, man.
You're a credit to your family. You're really a top guy, and I'm so chuffed you come on, buddy.
And mate, if you ever want me back on something like this, or when you're in the Prem and you want a different opinion, just hit me up. If I can do it, I'll do it.
100%.
I will do it because I love talking football. I might get pelters for being a Wednesday fan talking about Leeds or the Premier League in general, but if anyone got a problem with it, get fucked. I'm talking to my mate Matt. I don't care.
Exactly.
If you've got an issue with it, that's your problem. That's not a me problem.
Like I said, mate, it's beautiful how sort of friendships can be formed beyond the badges, mate. You know, just that's something I'm so happy with and proud of myself. You know, setting up this channel and making
and your channel's just blown. It's really gone really quickly, and I'm so proud of you now. Impressed
thanks,
it as you do. And the thing, you've done something that most don't do. You got the visuals and the sound, and more important, you got the sound bang on. Like, I used to have really good visuals, but I had naff sound.
No, thank you. I appreciate that, buddy, coming from you. I really do, because you've got it all nailed down too. Just before we sort of end on that, mate, I'd just love you to know, like, what would you say to somebody, not even just in the FND, but someone in the FND community who's struggling, or just someone in general who's struggling with, you know, maybe something from the childhood, money worries, gambling worries, whatever it is, universally, whatever that individual's struggling with, what advice would you give them, buddy, before we wrap it up?
Find something that you can grab onto that's yours, that you can make a claim to it, that you can do something. It could be a mantra. It could be writing in a journal. It could be speaking to someone. Make sure you speak. The first thing, just speak. If you try and get into a therapist. I know they're very hard to get into now, but try and go to your GP. If you think it's a mental health thing, if it's a gambling thing, they're organising the guy. If it's FND, funding for FND is in the toilet, but it's getting better. But make sure you've got a very strong support network. I think the biggest thing is a support network.
Yeah.
If you've got a big support network, you will be fine, because they will support you 100%, whatever's going on. But I think I have something that I always say: you're never alone. There's always someone there to help you.
Yeah.
And I'll leave it with this one. Guy walking down the street and he falls down a hole. He shouts up and goes, "Can you help me, please?" Bloke throws in some money down. Bloke, then second person comes past. It's a priest. And he goes, "Father, can you help me, please?" And he goes, "I'll say a prayer." Say the prayer. Next bloke goes, "Mate, can you help me, please?" He goes, "What are you doing down there, mate? Joe, what are you doing up there? Like, can you help me, mate?" And he jumps down the hole. He goes, "What the hell are you doing down here? Now we're both down here." "Yeah, but I've been down here before and I know to get out." There's always someone that's going to help you.
Love that. I wondered where that were going then, mate, but I love that. I actually love that. Yeah.
Nicked it from one of my favourite TV shows, The West Wing.
West Wing. Now I love that, mate. Like you say, open up, speak out, and you'll probably find there's someone who's been in a similar situation who can guide you, you know, on the right path. Love that, mate. Great way to end it. Yeah, thank you so much for coming on, Jake. Top guy. Like I say, we'll continue the friendship off screen as well, hopefully, as doing some on screen as well. But thank you so much. Please go over and check out Jake at PunkChef41. I will be putting the link in the description, so it will be in the description for you to go check out his stuff, like you say.
And let's get this channel up and get more people knowing that it's okay to talk.
Cheers, buddy. Yeah, try and get, like I say, I'm not one for numbers as such. It just is what it is. But this channel, I would love more eyes on it for the obvious reasons that, you know, as I do more videos, the more videos I do, different stories, you're going to find at least one personality, Jake, who will connect with that story at some point. And there's no shelf life to these sort of conversations like there is with a preview on Imagine Not Being Leeds or a match day vlog. These are going to be there in sort of like a diary form forever. And hopefully
you can go back and always watch it and find something.
Exactly. That's the way I wanted this channel to sort of go, buddy. So thank you so much for being my first guest.
Mate.
Please go check out Jake and please like and please subscribe. And that's it for the first episode on Full Time to Talk. See you later, everybody. Thank you.
See you later. Bye.